we need some questions again. So I hope you were thinking of questions you might want to ask. We're going to go through the same process, but of course you're going to be with some different people now because you're sitting in a different space. So firstly, think of your own question. What is your question from what you saw? No, don't tell me, just think of it for yourself, okay? And then put your hand like that when you've got a question. Miles, you got a question? No. Not yet? Working on it? Okay, now we're going to pair, so 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Right, share your question and come up with one question between you. Yeah, I know. Oh, here she is, yeah. So you guys form a 3. There you are. You're 2. Got a question?
Yes.
Got a question? Almost? Yeah, between you? Yeah. Got a question between you? Yep. Got one question? Got one question yet?
Yeah.
Yep. You guys got a question?
No.
No, work at it, work at it. You got a question between you? Okay, we're almost there. Okay, again, into 4. So you 4, you 4. We're going to, let's see. You guys got a question yet? Yeah. You two come up here and work with these two, all right? And when you've got your question for your group, your small group now, come and tell me, okay?
At some point, so it starts getting smaller in the universe. Which one do we do? Which one do we choose? Your one or our one? Does Earth matter compared to because there's so many other galaxies and planets out there? Like, if there was life on other planets and we exploded, would anyone care? Because we're just that teeny speck. Because we're so tiny, we're nothing. When we zoom down, nothing else. We couldn't see ourselves. Yeah. In the universe. In the Earth, we're smaller than an atom in comparison. So if we had the whole Earth and all the atoms, we're about as small as one of those atoms in the universe. Yeah. So which question? I don't know. Our one? Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Does Earth matter compared
Does?
to...
Oh, wow.
And we have an example to kind of make it sound like a bit more like... We have an example to make people understand the question.
Yeah, well, that's all right. If they pick that question, then you get to explain it. Right? Okay? Any other groups got their question? 2 more questions? Which groups haven't given me a question yet? Yeah? Have you got your question? Have you given me a question yet?
Yes.
Which one's yours?
There's actually different universes.
So, what's your question?
How can people discover different galaxies, planets, and different universes? How do they do it? Oh, right, yeah.
Is that it, Claire? How do people discover different galaxies? Yep. And one final question.
So, why do we spend all this money on exploring outer space when there are needs on our own planet of people who are hungry and sick?
Can I shorten that a little bit?
Why do we spend all this money exploring our universe when not everyone on our planet is healthy?
When people are, can I say when people are in need or
Yeah.
something like that? When people are in need.
We know.
Right, okay. 4 questions there. Let's have a look at them. Are there any signs of more intelligence or planets in the universe? Right, that's the first question. Second question, nice and short. Does Earth matter? Right. Third question, how do people discover different galaxies? And the fourth question, why do we spend all this money exploring our universe when people are in need on Earth? Right. And I want you, by yourself, to decide which of these you're going to vote for. Okay? Put your hand up when you've got your vote. Right, you know what you're going to vote for? Okay, right, well, let's go then. Who wants to find out or to discuss, are there any signs of more intelligence or planets in the universe? 3. Who wants to discuss, does Earth matter? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think that's the one, is it? How do people discover different galaxies? Why do we spend all this money exploring our universe when people are in need on Earth? Yeah, it's an interesting one too. We've got 3 there, have we? Okay, but it looks like does Earth matter is the one we've picked. So,
Somebody voted twice.
somebody who was going to explain to us. Yeah, you were going to explain to us.
It's kind of confusing when you first hear it and what we're trying to say. But what we're mainly trying to say is like if there was any like life on Earth and a different like planet and then the Earth exploded, would they care? Because we're just like that teeny speck of dust compared to everything else.
So do we matter? Do we matter or does Earth matter?
Does
What do
Earth
you-
matter? Whole matter.
Does Earth as a whole matter, right? Eden, you get to give the microphone to somebody.
I believe Earth does matter because not just I think if Earth matters because if something goes wrong with Earth and if we do something wrong and the Earth becomes non-existent, or in my case blows up, then all these asteroid chunks would go into different parts of the galaxy, and an asteroid as big as half the Earth or the Earth would seriously mess up the orbits, and that's how we survive and also so I believe Earth matters in our solar system, but I don't really know about a galaxy or a universe.
I also think that Earth matters because each universe and each galaxy matters because it pieces together the universe, and without Earth it's part of an orbiting system, and then that orbiting system wouldn't work.
So each bit matters for the whole thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that if there is other alien life and if Earth blows up or something, then the other alien life may not actually notice, because who would notice a speck of dust blowing up in a field of dust?
Okay.
Well, I think Earth matters because if Earth blows up or breaks down, then it'll stuff up the orbiting system, and then we won't be alive, or it'll break down.
Well, I think it matters for humans, but I don't think it matters for pretty much anyone else. I think it matters for humans because, well, if the world gets destroyed or something happens, then it might destroy mankind, and there wouldn't be any more humans, and but it wouldn't matter to the to other living creatures on other planets, as long as they're very far away, because if there are lots of suns exploding, and planets, stars exploding, and when they explode, we don't really notice, and we don't really take notice of that.
Yep. Pass it on. Somebody who hasn't said anything.
Thank you. It really depends who you're saying doesn't matter. I guess for some people, for most people, it matters if Earth gets destroyed, but nothing on Earth really exists for a reason. Earth doesn't really exist for a reason. I mean, we're pretty much just creating clutter in space, and it won't really have an effect on the universe. But yeah, so it kind of yes and kind of no for me.
So, can I think about what you said right at the beginning there? You're saying we can't talk about whether it matters without talking about who it matters to. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
It's got to matter to somebody.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to matter to someone, because, Earth matters to us.
To us, yeah.
But, think of it as an alien's perspective. We're polluting our whole Earth. Doesn't really seem like Earth really matters to us. It kind of just seems like it's it's a sewer and we're just dumping garbage in it.
Okay, interesting idea. Yeah. Who's next?
Well, I don't really think Earth matters that much because, well, if Earth was to explode, it wouldn't really affect it much. It would have maybe affect our solar system, but it wouldn't really affect the universe at all. So, but also it wouldn't really affect us because if the Earth was to explode, I don't think it would happen because by the time Earth would explode, most of us, or humans, probably would have left Earth. At least some of the Earth's population would have left Earth already. So then it wouldn't really affect us as much. So it would affect us quite a bit, but not like a lot. I'm confusing myself.
Yeah.
I think Earth does matter because I don't remember who said it, but someone said like every bit of this, I think it was Abby, but yeah, you said every bit of the solar system matters to make it like a whole. And when you said that, it kind of reminded me of a jigsaw puzzle because every single piece of the jigsaw puzzle is needed to make the actual picture. And like with the picture that we saw when we zoomed out, if there wasn't a whole bit of it, you wouldn't really be able to see it. And so I think that Earth does matter because otherwise, the solar system would have been different and we wouldn't be alive, and all the stuff that we have discovered wouldn't be known. Things would just be there and nothing would be happening.
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting
'Cause,
idea. Let me try and capture that, right?
We kind of make things happen in the solar system. So.
You're making a distinction between the way things are and what we know. Is that what you're saying? Or what is known?
Yeah, because
Okay.
what is known, well, we know what we just saw, but the things as they are, they might be different to what we know.
Right.
We might be incorrect.
Okay. Can I pick up on that a bit? And it links, I think, to what Miles was saying. Okay, so you guys just wait a sec. Matter to whom? You know, let me try and get it. It links to what you're saying, right? There's things as they are. There's the universe out there. There's all these planets and stars and galaxies and so on out there, right? That's what is. That's what exists. And then there are
What we
people.
know those are to be.
Yeah, people like us. Maybe there are aliens. And they can know about the universe, right? So there's a difference, is there, between what is known, which needs... What do you need to know something? What do you have to have before something can be known? Scarlett?
Information. Because we need... I agree for Miles' point. Who would it matter to? Because the only life we really know is the life on Earth, and I don't think any other planet really knows that we actually exist.
Right, can a planet know something?
No, but the planet kind of.
In what way?
Well, the planet knows that it has to produce food and, Well, I don't really know. As in,
What do you think? Can a planet know something?
Unless there's something different from what we already know,
Yeah.
as planets are material with a core and have things on it that
So a planet's just a material thing, you're saying?
Yes,
Yeah.
unless there's something different to what we have discovered.
What is it that's special about us compared to a planet?
Well, we have a brain. We have a brain. And if, as far as we know, we haven't discovered a planet with a brain. So,
Right.
my opinion on this overall question is, I'm assuming it, I'm saying, taking it from the perspective of a life form ages away. So imagine someone in America that you've had no interactions with died, and it probably happened in the last minute. Does it matter to you?
Right.
If you haven't, unless they're family, friends, or someone you know, it probably will not matter. But if you find their dead body inside your house, then it will matter because it's affected you.
Okay.
So, as if the dust or whatever comes and affects your daily life, then it does matter to you.
Right.
But if it's
You're
probably
saying
just
for
happened.
it to matter, you need to be affected.
It's probably just happened right now. We're not really affected by it.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Annika, can you pass on to Annika?
To
Here.
Well, kind of like if the Earth does matter, kind of back there. Well, I think it does matter because because there's only one Earth that we can live on. I think that they're starting to do something on Mars, but because the Earth technically can't explode, it's more the sun that can. The sun can grow bigger
Yep.
and get through Mars and then get to us and everything, and get through Venus and everything, because it's a star and it can grows.
Yep.
It can grow. Yeah, I know. I realized that. But and then but we have to try and move somewhere else that has the exact materials that we need to live, like on Earth. We need water and we need good land for vegetation and everything.
So are you saying if the Earth matters, it matters because it matters to us? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kind of. Because if
Yeah.
we don't find another planet, then we will all be gone.
Right.
Kind of.
So we're coming back to this question, about who it matters to, and it seems to me that one view we've got here that a number of you are saying is that things can only matter if they matter to someone or something, and some of you seem to be saying things can matter even if there's nobody around to be concerned about it. And I'm wondering where the truth lies.
Does it mean, again, assuming we're taking a different perspective, do
Right. So you need.
we say an alien perspective ages away?
So you need
It's-
a perspective. And
it's-
who's this perspective to? Is that what you're
When
saying?
we say doesn't matter, do we mean does it affect you? Because you may look up into the sky and not find it, so it affects you, but does it matter? But
Okay.
if a rock comes from Earth and crushes you, yeah, it matters to you.
Nikki.
Again, does matter mean, does it change anything or does it affect you? So does it just simply change something?
Right.
But does the change affect you? I think if the change affected you, it matters. But if the change doesn't affect you, then it doesn't matter. And I'm not counting, looking up and seeing Earth gone, I'm not counting that as affecting you. As a...
Can you give it to Nikki now?
I think it does matter if the Earth explodes or something, because who knows if nature or humanity will stop its life cycle, and what might happen to the moon, the moon's circulation around Earth, and the sun's orbit around the sun's orbit, because
Let me ask you a question here, right? Let's say there's another planet in the universe, okay? And on this planet, it's a lot like Earth, but it's never evolved animals, okay? So there are plants around, and there are oceans, and there are mountains, but there are no animals. Well, no. Okay, that's just... Yeah. Okay, what I'm asking you is this, though. I mean, if that planet got hit by a huge meteorite and wiped out, would it matter if there's no animals there to whom it matters? Does it matter? Yeah. Is the change something that matters, or does it have to affect somebody or something? That's what I'm asking.
At this rate, we're
Hang on.
We need something.
So, yeah. Because we need to have the microphone. Okay, so Claire, what do you think?
So I was thinking that we wouldn't really be trying to defend Earth and say that it mattered if we didn't live on it, because it matters to us. That's why we're saying that it matters. But what we're saying is more that our resources and us as people matter. So if we were living on that planet, the one that's uninhabited, has no animals, like you mentioned, we'd be defending that and saying, oh, it does matter, and we would care less about Earth. So really, it does have to matter to someone in order for people to think that it's worth saving and caring for. Because if it's just some random uninhabited place, people are going to be like, oh, well, that's a bit unfortunate. I guess we can't live there now, but it's okay, I guess. And people would be making less of a fuss about it.
So we have to care. Who are you giving it to?
I think that if the small planet was destroyed, the change of it, just it being not there, it wouldn't matter. I mean, it would matter, but maybe not the second it's destroyed, but millions and millions and millions of years into the future, when stars are dying out and people need to find a new place, they are trying to they're this big civilization, and they need to spread out. This destroyed planet hopefully hasn't disappeared, and there's all these rock clusters of it, so it can.
So are you agreeing with Claire then that you need this civilization that wants this planet for it to matter whether the planet's gone or not? There has to be somebody or something it matters to.
Yeah,
Is that
it
what
has to
you're
be
saying?
somebody or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
Okay. Does anybody disagree with that? Does anybody think it matters whether there's anybody to care or not? Right. So, Henry, go. You have a go at this, right?
So, if there was no one on Earth, and we were living on Mars, let's say, and then the Earth blew up. We don't know why, it just blew up. So, we're on Mars, and no one was on Earth. It wasn't inhabited anymore, because scientists predicted it blowing up. If we know it's going to happen, then some people will try to stop it, except it does happen. So all the people on Mars are the only people left, but they won't. But
unless they have friends, family, or anybody they know on Earth, then they'll just be like, I didn't really know them. I used to go there. I like Earth, except I'm okay, so
It
what's the problem?
Seems to me what you're saying is that there still need to be people to whom it matters, right? But what I'm asking is, does anybody think that it matters even if there were no people? Even if there were no people, it would matter. Toby.
I think it would matter even if there were no people, because we're on Earth. Let's say the sun blew up. It could affect Earth. Because there would probably be no more after like a week or two. There would be no more living creatures.
Let's take a different sun and a different planet, right? Nobody lives on this planet, and the sun blows up. Does it matter that that planet's destroyed?
Well, I think I guess it could matter.
In what way?
As in like, so like the jigsaw, if the jigsaw was not complete, then people on Earth would have to change the constellations.
But you're bringing people on Earth back into it. What I'm wondering about is, does it matter if there are no people? See, everybody so far who's had a go at that is trying to bring people back into it, okay? What I'm wondering is, can you say something matters if there's nobody who cares about it at all? Can it still matter in some way? And you need to explain in what way it matters.
Well, it would matter because it kind of it depends on what type of planet it is. Because if it's a planet kind of like Mars, it wouldn't really be. It would kind of not really that matter because it's not a good living space. But
But you're bringing people back in, people
like,
who live there. Why does it matter?
If other bacteria and things live there, then it kind of would matter to them, not like other
So
things.
you're bringing in living things again. What if there's no life at all, right? Does it matter if a planet's destroyed? If there's no life at all, no life knows about it, no life lives on it, nothing at all. What do you think, Scarlett?
Well, I do think it still matters. Even though there's no people on it, it can still matter to other parts of the solar system and stuff. Because if there was an asteroid that hit a planet, it would matter because it could cause destruction to that planet, which could set off like kind of like a chain reaction to other planets until it gets to a planet that people may be living on.
But you're bringing people in again, aren't you? Did it matter before it got to the planet where there were people?
Yes, it did still matter because...
It matters if there's a change. It matters if it makes a difference.
Yeah, because it might not... As in, it matters, might not matter to us, but it could matter to other parts of the solar system.
Right, okay.
To how the solar system runs, everything has to be in order, otherwise it won't run properly. So it will matter to the solar system.
So I think it does matter to the planets again, what Scarlett said, because think of it as Jupiter. Jupiter, it has such a big gravitational pull that it protects Earth from a bunch of meteors and meteorites that could wipe out all Earth, all of Earth and other planets as well. But
it's hard to explain because I'm trying as much as possible not to bring life into it, which is hard because I kind of feel as well like it wouldn't really matter because Earth and Jupiter aren't really people or living things. They can't feel pain. So
it's hard not to bring life in, is that right? Who can keep life out of it completely?
Right.
Hang on a sec.
So, if a planet that I'm going to say nobody cares about, nobody knows about, if that explodes, it can matter because...
because that's the tricky bit, isn't it?
because we will care.
But you just
but you brought us back in
Yeah, but
again.
we don't, we will.
Let me try a different example, okay?
And I'm just going to reply to...
Yeah.
You said, Miles, you said if Jupiter explodes or whatever, then it could, the gravitational pull could affect Earth. Well, why don't we care just as much about Jupiter if there's no...
Let me try a different example that might help here, okay? Say in some part of the world where people never go, right? It's a really out-of-the-way place. People never go there, and there's a butterfly that lives there, a species of butterfly, okay? Nobody has ever seen this butterfly, okay? And something happens, and suddenly all these butterflies die, and there are no more of these butterflies on the Earth. Nobody knew about them to start with. Nobody knows they've disappeared. Does that matter?
It does matter because it could have affected us in the future in a positive or negative way.
But again, you're bringing us in, right? We never know about this butterfly. It never affects us. Eden. Oh, there's two Edens, sorry. One after the other.
I think that if the species of butterfly dies out, I think it does matter because it might matter to the ecosystem. Because that species of butterfly, I don't know, but let's say that it helps the flowers a lot. And so then the flowers can help other species of butterfly, and then that other species of butterfly can help other animals, and then it's like it helps everything. But if it dies, no, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. No, it doesn't.
Okay.
But if it dies out, then it might change that whole ecosystem.
But then why are you bringing it to other animals? Why don't we care about the...
Because there are no us.
Right. Do things matter in themselves? Good question, Joel.
Start a chain reaction in the ecosystem, and other animals could be affected by it. Okay, but why isn't the butterfly just as devastating as the other animals?
Okay, Nikki, last word.
That we did.
Wait, can I bring back the planet point?
Bring it back, yeah.
So even if Earth did explode, it hit it like the remains of Earth would hit other planets, and if the other planets broke into another remain and hit another planet, it might go on until like other planets will be destroyed.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're going to have to finish there because we're running out of time, but let's just try and sum up a little bit, right? What we've got here, the question was, does Earth matter? And we went a little bit beyond that. Not just Earth, but do things matter? And we got to this question of, if something matters, does it have to matter to somebody or something? Or does it just matter on its own? So one view is this view that some of you are arguing, that if something changes, if it makes a difference, then it matters. whether anybody cares about it or not. And the other view is it has to affect somebody. It has, right? There has to be some perspective before things matter. And we're left with that puzzle. We haven't really solved that yet. So it's something maybe you can think about when you go away. Does there have to be somebody or something who has a perspective, who is affected, before changes matter? Or do changes matter all on their own? Okay, so that's it for now. Okay, thank you very much. There have been really interesting conversations we've had. Thank you.